we as educators and as practitioners in our own right work very closely together. Whilst we have our separate fields of expertise, our separate speciality areas, we overlap and integrate as much as is practical and as much as is possible. It's a very rounded course, so all of the students, whether they're at high school level or they're rising seniors, grade 11, grade 12, are involved in theatre from multiple perspectives. They will work as designer, creator, performer, director, technician and stage manager. So they're involved in building set, they're involved in understanding technology, the integration of lighting, sound, creating space, creating environment through those physical means. And again, by the time they leave, they are proficient lighting operators, proficient sound operators, perhaps at the beginning of an exciting career.
One thing that I think sets our department apart from perhaps other English departments across the world is our use of contemporary texts, and texts, whether that's novels, poetry, even film, short stories.
Because of the collaborative nature, we can actually differentiate certain classes based on students' needs.
All the English classes are done at the same time. All 9th, all 10th, all 11th and 12th are done simultaneously with 3 other teachers, including myself, for 4, which allows us to group flexibly according to needs, according to what we see every day in class. What makes the American school unique, I would say, from any school I've ever worked at, is the small class size, is the amount of attention that we can give to students.
What's great about the department is we all have different academic backgrounds. We've all studied literature in some capacity, but in different places around the world.
At our English department, I think what we do well is cater those students and try to find creative and logical and mathematical. Any way that we can bring other subject areas into the English classroom is what we try to do as an English department. I think that's unique because we are a small school. We are able to find what the focus of the student is and help them to read, write, critically think, and I think that's important.
Well, we have a talented department of educators who have 20 years of experience within each person, and what we bring to the classroom is really quite an expansive knowledge of mathematics. And so what I love about having that experience is that in the classroom I can respond to student questions and queries and go down paths that are spontaneous, that come up out of the student's imagination and curiosity, and that is a really exciting place to be.
My philosophy of mathematics is that mathematics is one of the most useful tools to think about the world. One of the differences here at this school is that all teachers are encouraged to do the best they possibly can for the students. And if that means be different from other teachers or other schools, then ASB is fine with that, as long as you can show that you are affecting student learning and that students are excited and interested. I feel that we are successful as a math department in challenging students and in getting them to have a conceptual understanding of mathematics.
In our department, one of the focal points, the major focal point, is effective communication, and so we find different ways and outlets in order to do that. It could be classes merging together and working together, looking on our target, which is our speaking and our listening. In that ways they get to effectively communicate and respond to each other. As learners as well, they find that interacting piece very, very important.
So we offer in our high school language program courses that are designed to get our 9th and 10th graders ready for entering the IB in 11th grade. Our courses in 9th and 10th grade are really geared to get students ready for the kind of tasks they're going to be completing as IB students. So our focus is always to make sure that they're focusing on those IB student characteristics and getting used to that kind of task.
The high school classes, we're really looking at the whole IB learner profile, and so even at the 9th and 10th grade, we look at different pieces of the IB that we implement in order to help them as they get into the IB courses in 11th and 12th grade. Write a Facebook post in Spanish, for example, or something of you'll be interviewing somebody, and in Spanish, what are the formats of an interview, or write a biography about someone, or do a research paper as well. So there's lots of different ways and kind of innovative approaches to helping them as they are going to move into the IB curriculum.
It's a collaborative learning open space where students interact with each other, they learn from each other, and it's a place to share ideas and do research.
We have over 35,000 print books, and to support our student work in research, we've got an extensive online database which houses about 85,000 ebooks.
We have a wide range of books that cater to all reading levels. We are able to successfully match the interests of the child with the books that we have and nurture the love for reading amongst our students.
What we do is we focus on students creating things like interactive art that moves with you. They create things like video games, they create chat rooms and messaging things between each other. Really the goal is to get as many students involved in computer programming and making as possible. They come in with their interests and their passions, and they use making or they use computer programming as the medium to explore those passions.
So in terms of how our department works, I think one thing that's been relatively unique for our school is that we've had a pretty high degree of collaboration in our department.
We have to balance two big things. One is we have the IB diploma program, and if you've ever looked at the IB diploma program in science, it has a fairly old-fashioned approach to it in that it has an 80% is a test and 20% is a laboratory. And so while we're teaching in this innovative way, we're also looking to that end point, and we do a lot of work to make sure that the students are able to think critically and analyze questions and be able to take old-fashioned tests, so to speak. But at the same time, our approach for how we teach the kids in order to get to that point of knowledge and understanding and of application is very diverse. If there's small group work, there is demonstrations, there is one-on-one classwork, there is project-based learning, there is lecture, just like in any other school, although you'll find that it's a very small percentage of what we do.
You know, we talk about professional development opportunities as a faculty, and what I always make clear is that the best professional development I've ever gotten is the set-aside time I've been able to have with my colleagues here at ASB. I think if you talk to students, you'll probably get something similar. Is a curriculum that's dynamic, a curriculum that's fun, curriculum that's relevant to their needs, connecting historical issues with modern day conflicts and seeing where there's possible parallels. A curriculum that's diverse, that involves independent research projects, but also group collaborative mock trials. And a curriculum that not only gets students ready for the IB, but gets them ready for life outside of school.
Here at ASB we have a different approach to PE to some of the other schools that I've worked at. The way that we work is that we offer swimming and health as our standard units that every student will do. And then from there, students will have choices for the rest of the year.
One of the ways that we run our units is they have 3 units of choice. So each of the people in our department, we take one unit, and the students have a choice to pick which unit they're most passionate about.
So we have about 86% of our students being involved in some kind of activities. We work together to make sure that all students can be involved in multiple different disciplines so that our students are not pigeonholed into one different category.
I think the key to remember is physical activity should be fun. Physical activity, if it's not fun, should have an end desire of feeling success or feeling achievement. It shouldn't be a burden, and that is one thing that we may not get it right just now, but we're moving towards getting it right, and we're moving towards helping students develop that passion. Thank you.